Welcome to the Magnolia Minute. I'm Corey Poole, and today I have with me Mayor Lee Posey. How are you?
I'm doing well, Corey. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Now, you're here today to talk to us a little bit about Park Natchitoches and the 1% proposed sales and use tax that was announced at the last City Council meeting. I know there was some misinformation that got around and people got pretty concerned with it. So you're here just to give us some more information.
Yes, I would like to at least put the information out that we thought there was some misinformation that got out very quick, so we want to try to get all the factual information out there we can. When it's out there, we might not totally agree, but I want people to be explained what happened with it and stuff.
Yes. So let's talk about the District C, because a lot of people thought it was the whole city, but it's not.
And that's where I apologize. I really thought that when we put out there District C the District C TIF tax district, and we put a map with it, that they knew it was that particular area. It was the business area going out to I-49 and Highway 6. This was created years ago for this set purpose. This is not an unusual thing. A lot of communities do it, and it was created to help make things better in that community out there and whatever. So that's kind of what we did with it.
Yes, and then let's talk about how this proposed sales and use tax came about.
When we started with the park, we knew that we had a certain amount of money we thought we were going to be able to build it for. The bids came in higher than expected. We had to cut over $1 million to get it down to where we thought we could afford the bond payoffs with it. Actually, we booked the bonds in over a year and a half ago because the rates were real good, that it was already generating the money. Matter of fact, we will make our second payment on the payoff of these bonds coming up in December, and we booked it at an earlier rate to get a better rate, and so we're already paying for it. None of this money that will be generated will go to pay for the current construction. That is taken care of.
Okay.
This is strictly the O&M costs that are associated with running a park and the management. And how this came about is from the hotel industry people. They mentioned to me the number one things that bring people to town, heads in beds, to spend money are the park or the tournaments that we put on in our tournament ball, USSSA ball around here. And the next biggest thing is NSU athletic events that they host that puts people in their hotels out there. So we thought I was concerned because when the bids came in, I did get concerned about the O&M costs. Our current budgets in the Recreation Department might not could absorb taking care of this park, because we are doing it right. We want a wow factor out there. When we did this, I went to the hotel industry and said, I'm concerned about something. Way before we started building this park and everything, we did this in advance. It was not an afterthought. So I've talked to them, and they agreed with me. We talked about a 1% tax. It was actually, we were going to do a TIF at the time, but it ended up being a 1% sales tax is the way we had to do it, because we saw what they'd done in some other communities.
Yeah.
So there was no pushback on this, so that was going to be the O&M cost. The second part of this is when you talked about helping NSU, which is the lifeblood of our community. In McNeese and Lake Charles, they did this, and it generates almost $1.2 million a year to go and help McNeese. You're always in NSU, in athletics, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. LSU's trying to keep up with Alabama. Louisiana Tech passed a 3/4% sales tax citywide, plus a 1 3/4% TIF tax on every restaurant in Natchitoches for these exact reasons over there, to help offset some of the O&M costs. Their park.
Oh, in Ruston.
What did I say?
Natchitoches.
I'm sorry, in Ruston,
you.
excuse me. And when they did this, they're building currently a sports complex over there that was supposed to have been started out $28 million, and it's now $42 million with a second phase of it to be built.
Wow.
So we're trying to keep up with everybody, because all the things we get. People around here say, why aren't we doing the things they're doing in Ruston, the Sulphurs, the Mandevilles, the Covingtons, mid-sized cities our size? We are trying to keep up. But this is where this came about on the businesses. When I visited with the businesses out there for the other 1% to help out, I said up front, this is not an afterthought, that this money will go to help. We'll split the 1% out there to help Northwestern State University, which is the lifeblood of our community, because we're always trying to help them. And the stronger we make them, the stronger it makes our community. So this is how most of this came about, and I want people to have the factual information that's out there. So That's what we're here to explain today and everything.
Yep.
So, I'd like to say when they were doing, they built a lot of things in this state like this, the Cabela's and the Bass Pro Shops and all like this. This is exactly how they did them. TIF districts have been around for an awful long time. This is not something it's our first time to do it by any means.
Yeah.
And I mentioned something else to our council. If there's a chance that they don't want to do the business part of it, I will probably stay with the hotel, because I went to the hotel industry, told them what we were needing their help on. They agreed to do it. But if they want to remove the business aspect for all the businesses out there, we would certainly consider doing that and rewrite it where it was originally intended for just the hotel industry out there. We'll be able to do whatever, but I want to explain it to the people. I'm willing to have public hearings. I know we're not going to reach everyone. I've told our city council if we want to have a public hearing and explain it to the public even more so that they might not hear it through some kind of news media outlet, we'll be glad to do it. We want the people to have the factual information.
All right, well, there you have it. We've got some information here for you about this 1% proposed sales and use tax. And, if there is a public hearing, I'm sure we'll be informing you of that as well. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thank you.